moment. Gotta seize the moment.
This is Differential Points Podcast. Welcome and join us each week as we discuss topics on the news, weekly events, pop culture, sports, movies, dating, relationships, finances, religion, political views, and much more.
As we tell our stories about real-life situations, advice, and opinions through witty banter and jokes. Whether in your car, in the gym, or relaxing in your own personal space, you're sure to be entertained and informed. I guarantee it.
I'm your host, Sheldon.
I'm Ronnie, your host. And this is Differential Points Podcast. We are here.
Yeah, you know my slogan too, man. Differential Points, new week. Hope you guys are good. New episode. I got my boy Polo in the building.
What's up?
Hey, he's kind of bashful all of a sudden, man. You were a little bit more excited a second ago, bro. Be your normal self, bro.
He's ready.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Polo. 36 years old, father of 3 boys. Florida boy, born and raised, single dad, newly single dad. Yeah, that's it, man.
Yeah, man.
We're going to get into
Welcome to the single world.
Yeah, man, we're happy to have you here, bro, because I've been trying to get you on this fucking podcast for the last 2 months, bro. Seriously.
Yeah, I know.
And now that you're here, man, it's kind of cool, bro.
Welcome, man.
Yeah, man.
Thanks, guys. I'm super psyched to be here. Appreciate you guys.
You have any questions?
I mean,
we can get straight into it, bro.
I got a lot of questions, man. Absolutely.
If you want to, do you want to ask any questions now or later, or?
No, as they come to me, man. You know,
that sounds natural, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Bro, like, for you listeners out there, I've only known this man for like 3 months.
Yeah.
I kid you not. And I fucking vibe with this guy like I've known him since 1991. You know what I'm saying? Like, new coworker, and we just kicked it off. What you told me when you first met me, like, dude, I thought you were what you say? You thought about, you know.
Oh my God, bro. I was like, it's funny that you said that, because immediately, right when you had just said, like, you know, we've known each other only a few months, but some people you click so well with right off the bat. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And this is something that I've had to learn over the years, that, you know, you can't always go, you know, people talk about your first impression is what lasts, and this and that. And I've learned over time that that's not entirely true. Somebody could be having an off day and give off an impression that, you know, they're, and that is completely not them. But my first impression of Sheldon, we were at a
training class.
Some training class.
Yeah.
And I think either you just walked in as the door.
I walked in late.
Or he was.
I walked in casually late, like like I normally do.
He was late as fuck. He was, bro, but he was fashionably late, because, you know, Sheldon, he walked in, he had his backpack on. He's like, "What's up, guys?" You know. and I look at him, man, and I'm like, and then I think that was my second time ever seeing Sheldon. My first time was in West Palm Beach in the crew room.
But I don't think we exchanged any type of like...
And that is when I put a label on you when I shouldn't have, because it was late at night. I was probably super tired, and I was just over the day. And I'm like, man, this guy's a fucking stick in the mud.
That's the term he used. Stick in the mud. That's the term he used. Stick in the mud. Yeah.
Like, this guy's a fucking stick in the mud. So when he walked in the second time I saw him, and he was fashionably late. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm like, oh, here's the stick in the mud. You know what I mean? But he turned out, I ended up catching the same job and the same hours with him. Oh. And dude, let me tell you something. I couldn't have been more wrong. And right at that very moment, I knew that I needed to tighten up when it came to putting labels on people so fast. You know what I mean? Because let me tell you something. Sheldon's been one of the coolest, realest, down to earth, best advice giving motherfuckers that I've ever met in my entire life.
Bro.
And that dude would not hesitate, I know for a fact, to give me the shirt off his back if it was the last one that he had.
Yeah, I'm glad you
I
gave my best
appreciate
bro
that,
a second
man.
chance, man. Because I know how he
Absolutely.
is. I'm just glad you finally figured it came around.
Absolutely, man.
Hey, I want to salute to that. Can I?
Yeah,
salute?
dude. Yeah, that's
Absolutely,
what I was
bro.
going to segue to that, bro. Thank you, man.
Absolutely, man.
There we go.
Bien
Thanks for getting the
gracias.
bottle, dog.
Hey, man.
Another tequila
Sorry
of
it
the
wasn't top shelf, but it's
Hey,
middle
bro.
of Bill week. So.
No, it would do, man. Salute.
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 Yeah. I'm tired as hell. I'm tired as hell, man. You know, my shift, I'm working like 4 a.m. to 10 o'clock in the morning to get 3 hours of sleep. You guys already know, the listeners already know or whatever. But every time I start drinking, I get like energetic. And it's about the vibes. Like you, Ron, and Polo. If I'm around good people, my energy levels up, even though I'm sleep deprived as fuck.
We
I
have
look
an
like
ambiance.
shit.
He works those
This-
stripper hours.
Yeah, and he likes a nightclub vibe, so we got the nightclub.
I'm secretly
glow
Batman.
behind our chest. He's totally Batman.
I'm telling people I'm going to work. I'm really saving the city. Like I'm just, or I'm secretly a stripper, like you said, a stripper hours, like
What are you saving the
Making
city
them-
from?
making them
Wasting
cheeks
time.
clap.
I take them down the city.
West Palm Beach.
I take them all over the world.
No, but like it's funny. Well, it's not really funny, but it's ironic how you talk about that because I've dealt with that before with like putting labels on people. I just think it's honestly it's a predisposition with human culture, bro. Like we always tell ourselves, don't judge a book by. We've been told that since we were fucking young, right?
kids.
Don't judge a book by its cover, but. Immediately we see somebody how to dress. Oh yeah, that person's a thug, or that girl's a hoe by the way she dresses, or as you said, somebody might be having a down day. They're maybe not like that at all, and then like you're like that person's a fucking asshole. You know, but they're really a good, lively, upbeat person. It's just they had an off day.
They're
you know,
having
Yeah.
a fucking off day. Not every day can be a perfect 10.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You
I
know,
like that people.
I call them oopsie days.
Yeah.
You know what
oopsie
I mean?
days. Yeah.
But sometimes you meet the right people on the wrong days,
Right.
And it's like an uphill battle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you try desperately, depending, you know, how you want to pursue a relationship with that person or that woman or whatever, and you try desperately to get on the same page with them, and it's like shit, you know, even after that first interaction with them, they could be your cup of tea. You know, whether it be a friend or a woman or whatever, you know, a dude friend to a dude friend. And you end up, you know, it just throws off the whole balance of things. So it's kind of like, you know, don't be so fast that I've learned to put a label on people.
Yeah.
Okay. Because, you know, kind of, you know, let it play its course. Because you could end up catching that person on a better day. And then you guys re-hit it off. And it's like, oh, shit. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, you're absolutely speaking facts, bro.
Yeah.
I think we've all dealt with that, and that's the biggest thing that we all have to overcome. I want to share a story, bro, because it's funny. I wrote this down weeks ago, and because you kept like your schedule was conflicting with this podcast, I kept like rewriting this over. Okay, episode
Schedule
2
blows.
I know. Schedule episode 2. Okay, no, episode 3. No, So I thought it was funny because I think it was maybe like a month ago now. You called me or you texted me at like fucking midnight. I have to be up at like 3 o'clock in the morning. And I tell you, he's like, bro, I need a huge favor from you, bro. Can you please call me like it's an emergency? I'm on this date with this chick right now. And I need to get the hell out of here. So I had to pretend like I'm like the job calling. Hey, Mr. Polo, we have an emergency. We need you at work in another hour. And he's over the phone like, oh man, really? Like, give me this like Oscar debut. Say it, bro. Talk to us about the story,
He
bro.
played it off so well. And I mean, if anything, I kind of felt like if anybody was going to get a fucking Oscar for that acting, it was him. Me? I mean, if I was this chick that was like watching me, I'd be like, dude, this
Rolling her
guy's,
fucking eyes. Like,
bro, this guy's
dude,
so full of fucking shit right now. It's not
yeah.
even funny because what had happened was, all right.
What happened?
What had happened?
I have an
was-
idea what happened, but keep going.
Yeah, buddy. So like, all right. And, you know, so there's this one chick, you know, I met on one of these dating sites, and, you know, like, I'm not too good with figuring out the difference between what somebody's face looks like with a filter and without a filter.
I feel like it's 2025 in a nutshell.
So I end up taking this chick out on a date down in Miami Springs. We end up going to this movie, and I took her out to eat, but I was already there, and I was already in the moment. I should have did what I had done in the past years ago, was the place that I met her at to eat. It was some Mexican cantina, restaurant. It's a nice restaurant. The food was pretty fire. But I should have cased the joint from the other side of the parking lot. Okay. So I could see her, right? So, see what she looked like before she spotted me. This chick, I pull up, she's already backed into the parking spot. And I pull up, and what do you know? I back into the parking spot directly across from her, right? So I get out of the truck. She spots me. Now there's no
going
running
back.
Now there's no running away or going back.
Bro, I'm at the horizon's like a black hole. And
yeah, man.
Sucks you in.
I'm at the point of no fucking return at this point, So I end up seeing her, and I almost had to do like a double take when she got out of the truck. It was like
in the worst way.
Okay. And
I like that. There's a good way of double take. Oh shit, damn.
And here's the thing, right? Women know when another woman is using filters. So prior to me ever going on this date with this chick, this girl had sent me pictures, and I'm like, damn, dude, this chick's a banger, man. You know what I mean? She's like 10 straight across the board. So I end up sending pictures of her to my youngest sister. And my youngest sister, okay, all my sisters are beautiful, but my youngest sister, she's like, she's absolutely,
better genes out of all
absolutely gorgeous.
Okay. Do your other sisters agree with that? You might get your ass kicked when they hear this podcast.
Well, thank God. That question
you say that, you calling me ugly?
Thank God they live in another state, because that could be a long ride for an ass.
The digital footprint is here.
It won't come for months.
No, they're all beautiful. So my mom got remarried to my stepfather, and who I consider to be my father, because my biological father is an absolute, dirtbag piece of shit.
It's okay. It's the same for a lot of people. But back on the topic. So you seen this girl.
So I sent right. So I sent her the pictures, and my sister's like, she sends me a text back. I don't know. It looks like she's using a filter. And I'm like, and that's not the answer that I wanted to hear. So I was just like, I didn't respond back, and I'm thinking to myself, no, it's not. That's not a filter. You try
to act like it was.
Dude, yeah. So like 2 weeks later, I go out on a date with this girl, and let me tell you something. It absolutely 100 million fucking % was a filter.
As soon as you stepped out the car, you realized that.
No.
Oh, yeah. Like, this chick was paying premium prices for this filter app. Let's just put it that way. She looked like she got slapped in the face with a snow shovel. Okay?
What? Damn.
But I was already in it, right? Yeah. And she comes walking up to me. I mean, ugly face. It could stop a 9-day clock, I'm telling you.
9-day clock.
Yeah. But her body was, perfect. So anyway, she comes up to me, and I was like, oh, hey, and I go in for the hug, and she grabs me by the back of my neck and forces me into her mouth, and she's like, ugh.
She kisses you already off the top?
Yeah,
wow.
Dude, she jammed her tongue down my throat, bro. Like, dude, she was like licking my small intestine.
Time out. Before you went anywhere, it was just parking lot.
You must have risked her up to the point where she just, because girls normally don't go straight for that unless you're like ready to go, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know what it was. Maybe every other dude wasn't oblivious to filters like me and didn't give her a time of day.
Distinctible aura was absorbed by her, and she fell for the, oh shit, this is a Polo Mac for sure.
Bro. So she ended up so I was like, and then as I'm like kissing her, right? Like, all right, us as dudes, we buzz our, we shave our
mustaches.
We shave our upper lips or buzz our upper lips or whatever. Da 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 da. In the middle of this chick jamming her tongue down my throat. And listen, she didn't have, she didn't like, bro, she had me like fucking headlocked.
You ain't going nowhere.
You ain't going nowhere, bitch. You know what I mean?
Damn.
She had me like headlocked behind my neck. Like this
zesty,
was bro. This was a strong Mexican chick, dude. I'm telling you, bro. Like, dude, like I'm a pretty tough dude, but this chick, bro, let me tell you something. And in the middle of her kissing me, like my upper lip, like feels like this
stubble,
like stubble on her upper lip.
You got stabbed,
dude. Oh my god, dude! I got stabbed, bro. I think I got mustache burn on my upper lip, bro. You know
how the tables have turned. So
I pull away. I'm like, and immediately, like, I look at her neck for like a fucking Adam's apple, and I start like looking at her hands and stuff like that. Like, listen, with everything going on these days,
did she really look like borderline a man?
No, she didn't look like a man. She just wasn't. On a scale of 1 to 10 of face beauty, she was definitely like a 1. Okay.
What? Out of 10?
Yes. Like, I don't know what filter app
so
she was using.
The filter made her like an 8 then.
Oh yeah. Straight across the board.
You made out with Machado's daughter.
Bro, what? I'm telling you, dude. Oh my god, bro.
Oh shit.
And we go in because now I'm like there. Okay. So we go into this place and I wanted to sit across the table from her, because I like being able to sit across from people and see them. She wanted to sit next to me. So she's sitting next to me and she's whatever, it was good food. We had a good time. I definitely got liquored up while I was there. You know what I mean?
You needed desperate SOS.
The waitress comes to the table and she's like, "Hi, what can I get you to drink?" And I was like, "Oh, what are you having?" And of course, another thing with this girl is she didn't drink. She doesn't smoke. She doesn't hang out. And for me, like,
that's a stick in the mud. You use that
right.
That's a stick in the mud. Like, you don't do nothing.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Not even a sip of beer. Not even a fucking O'Doul's.
How old is she?
Well, she was like, I want to say 35, 36, something like that. Wow. 2 kids. Yeah. The dude, her baby daddy, husband, whatever he was, hauled ass and moved to Mexico. Oh, I mean, it was... I'm like thinking to myself, it's that bad. This guy had to leave the fucking country. Wow. Okay, he had to hightail it out of here, bro.
To get in better places.
Fuck changing the zip code, dude. He changed the whole country on you. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So
I'm floored by this story. Keep going.
So long story short, I take her to the movies. We go see that. What is that?
Superman?
Final Destination.
That was that long ago. Okay. So.
Part 30. Yeah. You know what I mean? And
X.
It was, bro, pretty much. Like, dude, like, after the first and second one, like, they should have stopped. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. That was a complete waste of time. And anyway, for whatever reason, like, I was trying to find every excuse in the book not to have to,
do anything else.
Do anything else with her after that night. And if I'm put into an awkward situation with a woman, they can clearly read the room and tell that, like, I'm no longer feeling it anymore, right? So she rode with me in my truck to this movie theater in Aventura. We watched this movie. I wasn't feeling it. Anyway, oh boy,
so having PTSD talking about this, like, oh god, there we go.
I'm so sad about this story.
So, dude, like me, like I don't like letting people down. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I didn't know how to let her down easy. So
you couldn't do charity, huh?
Right. So I ended the night. Yes, I kissed her again, and that was it. I dropped her back off to her car because she left it parked at the restaurant. I'm in my truck, and now I'm driving all the way up to my house here in Port St. Lucie. And for like an hour and 30-something minutes, I'm kicking myself in the ass because now I'm like $400 in.
Damn.
Okay, for a disappointing first date with this chick that
You're not attracted to.
right, and and now on top of it, I don't know how to let her down easy. You know what I mean? So I end up
Especially
texting.
after you kissed her at the end. Yeah.
Yeah, and I kissed her for a second time, and she kept trying to kiss me in the movie theater. And I kept giving her my cheek, and that had stubble on it. So, it was like stubble for stubble. It was like a trade-off, thanks.
I want to watch the movie. Leave me alone. It's an interesting movie.
So, long story short, I let her know when I get home, whatever. And, I spent the next, 2 days not texting her. She's blowing up my text messages, whatever. Anyway, I end up banging this chick.
Oh. I'm not going to say no, but why?
I end up banging this chick because, in my mind, okay, yes, your face, okay, looks like it got ran over by a train.
Yeah.
Okay, but your body looks like it survived and it didn't,
nothing deformed.
You know what I mean? Like you were, you got a model body.
Yeah.
So she comes over the house and, she I think she's in the Army Reserves, and she's also a respiratory therapist and X, Y, and Z. So, and her dad was some, commercial architect that she lived with, her and her kids, and her mom and her dad. So her parents had money. She came from money. You know what I mean? And she was very good with money from what I gathered about her. And she was perfect for somebody, but she wasn't perfect for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was going through a dry spell. Okay.
Yeah.
And I needed some puss.
Okay, that's a good answer for my why. That's fine. XZ, I don't even care about XZ. Y is fine.
Yeah, dude. Like dry spell, I definitely needed some puss.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
you had to fall back to a certain point. You can't be too long without it.
Yeah, exactly. So I call her. She ends up coming over after I got out of work. I rush home. I'm cleaning my house and everything like that.
Yeah, she drove all the way up.
She drove all the way from Miami Springs, which is a very
This is far away from PSO.
Yeah, dude, that's
2 hours almost.
2 hours. Yeah, in the middle of the night, I get out of work. I got out of work at 8:30. She didn't show up to my house until 11:30 because I told her to drag her feet the whole time on the way up, so I could get home and clean up my house and everything.
You had to try, yeah.
Yeah, so she ends up coming over. It's 11:30 at night. And she was just weird. Her, her whole vibe. She's just very off. I don't know if it was her modesty. Now, I don't mind somebody modest, but you can be too modest. And she just sits on my couch.
She was pious a little bit, just kind of
being weird and stuff like that, and I don't know, she was throwing off the whole vibe. And she brought food with her, she brought me food and everything. She brought me Panda Express. That's what it was. Okay. And I had never eaten Panda Express, but she's like, "Oh, have you ever had Panda Express?" I was like, "Oh, I love Panda Express." Da 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 da. So she never had it. I fucking love it. Yeah, I'm I love it. She's like, "Oh, which meal do you like?" And I'm like, "I don't fucking." I'm thinking, what do I get
orange
from
chicken.
Chinese? Well, that's what I told her. I told her orange chicken and beef lo mein. Da da da. And she comes with orange chicken and beef lo mein, whatever. And so we eat and. We're not really saying anything. She's sitting across my dining room table from me, and we're just kind of eating and not saying anything to each other. And I'm like, this is fucking weird. You know what I mean?
She's not making conversation or anything at all.
No, not at all. And you could always tell that she wanted to ask me something, and I think she kind of felt the vibe that I wasn't really into her after our first date, but she wanted to keep it going some way somehow, and that there was something in her that was bothering her. You know what I mean? About the way I was being, and I wasn't trying to be like that. Yeah. So
women find a way to find something.
Right.
That's another story, but women find a way.
Oh yeah, and they always will. Any little inch you give them, they're gonna take a mile. Any little crack you give them, they're gonna make a giant hole out of it. But so I'm we're eating, we get done, and she grabs my plate, she grabs her plate, she's over there washing, and I'm like, okay, all right. So she's got a backpack with her. She's got like her military backpack and everything like that, and she wants to say something. So but she's not saying anything, and she's making it really weird. So like I'm sitting on the couch, and then she's sitting over there. So I like come in like, I've never been the one that normally makes like the first move, but in this sense, like, listen, either shit or get off the fucking pot here. Okay, because you're over here for a reason.
I like that. I like that.
You know, like we're either fucking, or you're gonna drive 2 hours back south tonight, sweetheart. Exactly. So,
but I'm impressed it works that way for you. But continue.
Well, that's the thing. Well, why? Common sense would tell you. Okay, why else would you drive 2 hours north in the middle of the night? Okay, with a backpack full of clothes.
She wanted to sleep over.
For her not to know what we know, you gave her that last kiss, so it summoned something else. That's the only thing I can think of, really.
My whole thing is like, common sense. Okay, for you.
No,
it's
guys. Not really for me. It's the realization of what she felt. I'm trying to. I do empathy.
Right. Well, if a chick tells you, "Hey, man, drive 2 hours over to my house in the middle of the night, bring food, okay, and then stay the night." Mm-hmm. Like to us as men.
That's code.
Oh, that's a slam dunk, dude.
Yeah, it's code for like we're gonna get it going.
Yeah, we're fucking. You know what I mean? So, anyway, all the
anticipation building. What happened after?
So I scoot next to her, and I'm the one making the first move because she's acting like a fucking weirdo. I don't know if this chick's gonna try and kill me in my sleep, or just be like, oh, okay, well, I guess this isn't going anywhere. See you later. So I end up scooting next to her, and I make the first move, right? And anyway, end up taking her to the room. We do our thing, la da 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 da. So I go down on her. Mm-hmm. Okay. And
damn. Were you drinking at this point? Did you have anything?
I should have been.
Yeah. I was about to say, how graphic do you want to be? You can say what you want because this is a good story.
Yes. I intend to be very graphic. I'm sorry, family. I know you guys are going to end up hearing this, but you know what? It is what it is.
Dear Lord Jesus.
So I end up going down on her, and it is well, anyway, let me rewind real quick.
Yeah,
she showered before I went down on her because she did drive for 2 hours. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I go down on her, and she's completely she's landscaped down there. She's taken care of, right? Well, I go up next to her, her clit, and I guess she must have shaved in the dark, or maybe didn't pay the light bill or something like that, and just missed the spot because in the middle of me going down on her, I gagged on her pube hair that had to have been 4 inches long. God. I swear to God.
4 inches.
4 inches long, dude. It got wrapped around that, the little ball that hangs down in the back of your...
Damn, how long did she take to shave, bro?
Like what? Like, is that like your first time ever shaving in your life? Jeez. Like, Jesus. And I remember being down there, and it got wrapped around that little ball in the back of my throat. And I remember being like this, like, having gagging, right?
Having a bald face.
But everything else was taken care of, right? And I remember, like, not finishing doing what I was doing. But I remember, like, I was still, like, my soldier was still at attention. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Turn up.
And she looks at me like, well, aren't you going to do something with it? So I put it in her. And I'm so turned off at this point, right?
Yeah.
That, like, I'm, like, looking at everything in the room, right? As I'm, like, doing this. And I'm making zero eye contact with her, right? And between the way she was acting the moment she walked in my door to her 6-foot-long pubes, okay, getting wrapped around the back of my throat and almost choking the life out of me.
Oh, God.
It was very hard for me to
keep it up, yeah.
To finish. I ended up finishing, but if I had
How long?
Oh, dude, it took me probably a good, probably maybe a good 45 minutes to an hour.
You look like a porn star to her.
But see, I don't see how, because I mean, clearly, okay. And let me tell you something: the AC was cranking, and I was sweating, dude. That's how bad. Like I was just like, I don't know if it was nervous or what it was, but it took me probably 45 minutes to an hour to finish.
That's what it took like Colombia for me. I hear you.
And bro, and let me tell you something. I remember after like I finished, she wanted me to lay down next to her, cuddle with her.
Mm-hmm. And that feeling's way out of your way.
Yeah. And and guys, you know how it is after we finish. Like, if you are not 100% into that woman, you're not going to lay down and cuddle with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're going to get up, you're going to go to the bathroom, you're going to clean yourself off, maybe jump in the shower, la-da-da-da-da, and then, that's it. And that is exactly what I did. Well, I remember walking over to my bathroom, getting cleaned up, and I'm brushing my teeth, and mouth rinse and everything, la-da-da-da-da, and I poke my head out of my bathroom door, and I look over at her, and she's like laying in my bed with like one leg on her knee, like kicking her feet back and forth, and she's like looking at me like really awkward. Mm-hmm. So like
she could see you through the bathroom door.
Well, no, my bathroom door was open.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So she. Oh, okay.
So I look at her and I go, because she made it awkward. So I look at her and I was like, did you enjoy that? Was that good? And she's like, yeah, it's fantastic. But
she said it in that tone.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So she definitely felt the vibe. So, she asked me, "Are you gonna take a shower?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna take a shower." She's like, "You want to take a shower together?" And I was like, my shower's really small. I don't normally shower." And so she gets up and she's like, "Okay, no problem. I'm gonna go take a shower." Well, while she was in the shower, I'm like thinking to myself, because I'm so turned off by this girl from the very first time meeting her. Mm-hmm. Now I have her in my house. Now I just did the dirty with her. Okay. Mm-hmm. And how do I get rid of her? Because now I don't even want her spending the night. Okay.
Segues back to me. What that all says, you cannot live with your own failure. What did that bring you? Back to me.
Exactly. So I'm like, dude, who is up at this time that would be more than understanding?
And I should have been asleep
of my situation.
Because I'm getting up in 3 hours, but
yeah, man. It is like super late. I'm like, fuck, man. I feel really bad.
Cold red.
I'm listening with a very high grin right now. Continue. Continue.
So I what do? I end up
call your Batman.
Bro.
I saved cities, dog.
Bro, let me tell you something, dude. Bro,
Ronnie, I love that.
He saved my world that night, bro. Fuck saving a city. He saved my world, dude. Like, I phoned a friend, bro. I needed help so bad. I needed an out. So she's in the shower. And I go through my phone, and I'm like, fuck, man. Who can I call, man? I don't have anybody. Sheldon's my only, like, real friend. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's my dude. That's my homie. So I'm like, you know what?
That's my friend.
My friend first.
I'm listening.
So I end up calling him, and I think he doesn't answer, but I text him. Or
I think you text me first.
Yeah, I text you first, and I go, what was it I said?
Hey, man, you up?
Hey, man, you're like, dude, I need a favor, bro. I end up, like, banging this chick I don't want to be with.
You got the recap.
Yo, can you pretend like you're calling me for work or something?
Wow, we continue.
Something of that nature. I'm like, dude, I got you, bro. I said, I'll call you in 5 minutes.
Oh my God, yo.
Yeah. Like, you can't make it too obvious, because if you're texting and then you get a call, because I'm going to tell you a story. That happened to me too, bro. But I told my homeboy, I was at IHOP with this chick I did not want to be with.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, dude, this chick is not like I met up with her once already, and I just know where the vibe was going.
We'll continue that. Let him finish this.
Yeah, go. Okay, yeah, but it's generally the same thing.
We could just throw everything into the mix and just come back around. I don't give a rat's ass, dude. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. But yeah, go ahead, finish your story, bro. We got a segue, bro, because this. Yeah. Finish it up.
So I end up texting him. I'm like, bro, listen, dude, this chick's over the house. I completely don't want her here. Help me. Pretty much, like, in other words, help me get the fuck out of this situation, dude, because she wants to spend the night. I was like, call me acting like you're like crew caller from work. He's like, all right, I got you. I'll give you a call in 5 minutes. Dude, he couldn't have timed it more perfectly. Okay, this chick was literally walking out of the bathroom, getting dressed, and I'm like this, and I got the TV on, and the room's dark, and she's like getting dressed in her nightie, and I go, so I continued playing it off. I'm like, oh, so what do you feel like watching tonight? Da, 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 da. You want to like cuddle? We'll fall asleep watching like The Notebook and stuff like that. Da, 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 da. Oh, wow. So she's like, I love The Notebook. I'm like, me too. It's like my favorite movie, Da, 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 da. So as soon as, because I didn't want it to seem like I wanted her to leave, as soon as I got done saying that, my phone rings. It's Sheldon. Sheldon will pick up with what he said. Go ahead, Sheldon. What did you say?
Hey, Mr. Polo. I'm sorry for calling you late. We have a job for you. Somebody marked off late. They called off work late. I'm sorry. It's emergency. We need you here in like the next hour or two or something. Shit. He's like, really? Oh, man. Come on, man.
Fuck, are you serious? Dude, I just got off work like 3 hours ago. How is this even possible?
I was like, yeah, we'll pay you the overtime. We'll compensate you. And
and I was like, oh, well, all right, Mr. Sheldon, I understand. That is... Mr. Sheldon. That is railroad life. And I'm like, oh... Duty calls, and I was like, and he's like, you have a good night, Mr. Polo. I'm sorry about that. I'm like, you too, Mr. Sheldon. Have a great night. Click. I look at her, and I'm like, guess we're not watching The Notebook.
Guess we're not watching The Notebook.
And I told her, I ended up telling her, I was like, yeah, man, that's railroad life. Wow. I was like, somebody went on the law, and, the train broke down. I gotta go.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's my...
That's a crazy story for y'all. Wow. I think that is, man.
What a privilege for engineers to have, huh?
Well, I don't think engineers. I just think because I wasn't in my job at the time when that happened to me. I'm at IHOP. I told my boy that I was like homeboys with at the time. I was like, dude, call me in like 7 minutes. I'm at IHOP right now. Make it seem like it's an emergency, like I need to come get you or something, Same thing, bro. On time, call, performance. Hey, I'm sorry, yeah. I was like, yo, what's up, dude? Yeah, man, I need you, bro. It's an emergency. All right, man, I got you, man. I'm sorry, and I had it on speaker to make it sound like it was believable, And this is like back in like 2012, 2013, man. I remember that's the one time. I feel like we all like lived like the same life, but in just different ways. You know what I'm saying? It's just funny how we do that, man. But have you texted her since? Have you talked to her? Or?
Well, no. Okay. She texts me. I thought about it because I kind of, after the end of that night, she got in her car and she was like, I walked her out to the driveway like a gentleman, of course. And she's like, well, I have to be up at like 8 a.m. for like PTing or whatnot, down in Hialeah or whatnot. Because remember, she lived in, down in Miami. So, and she was with the Army. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh, okay. I was like, oh, man. I was like, I really feel bad. I was like, God, man, I wish I didn't have to go to work. This really sucks. And she she goes, well, I guess I'm just going to drive like halfway and I'm just going to check myself into a hotel. And she ends up checking herself into a hotel in like Boca somewhere or something like that. And the next morning, so what I do is I waited till she left. Then I shut off all the lights in my house to make it look like
you're not there.
I'm not there. And then I take my truck and I drive it around the neighborhood for like 15, 20 minutes just in case she decided to circle back. And then this lady that lives across the street from us, elderly lady, her husband died a few years ago. So the house has been pretty vacant. She lives with her kids in Miami. So I just backed my truck into her driveway in the pitch black dark. So just in case she decided to pass back through at any time in the middle of the night, you know, she would have just seen that, you know, my driveway's empty. I hope she didn't look to the left because she would have seen that my truck was in the neighbor's driveway.
Why do we do that as people? I don't even want to say as like men, because women do it obviously too. It's like, why do we lie? We could just be straight up. It's like, are we afraid of hurting people's feelings that we don't even fucking care about?
It's like
what is it?
Some people lie to keep a face, which is like not being exposed or like not really letting people down like him. He doesn't want to be a Debbie Downer to people's expectations, and it hurts him more to let someone else down's expectations when he doesn't care as much as they do. So
especially
it's like,
the fact with women, okay? Women, if they sleep with a man, they're already emotionally attached in some way or another. Where men, we're wired different. You know what I mean? We could sleep with somebody and it not mean a single thing. Whereas when women sleep with a man, you know, there's already some sort of connection for them. So in my mind, I already knew that. And I knew she was already connected to me and I knew she already liked me. But how do I, you know, because I wasn't connected to her the same level that she was with me. So how do I let her down? I didn't, you know, text her or anything like that. And she ends up getting mad at me because I didn't text her for like a week straight. And she blows up my phone one day and she told me that I was, you know, a piece of shit and I was at this and I was at that and I'm no different than every other man that she's ever dealt with and blah, 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 blah. And, you know, at that very moment was like a changing point for me when it comes to, you know, dealing with women. Don't sleep with somebody if you're not into them.
Yeah.
Okay? Don't, you know, if you're not feeling it, just be upfront, be honest, you know. I should have done that on, you know, night number one at the end of the night. Just kind of told her that I wasn't feeling it. But
I'll reflect your question back to you. If you were in such a dry spell, do you think you could adhere to that? Don't sleep with other women. If you're in that big of a dry spell, you think it'd be like that if you understood what you went through?
Yeah, I think this time around, because that, you know, it kind of, you know, what she told me about myself was so eye-opening, okay, because I really kind of did like self-reflection and everything when she told me about that, and it kind of got to me. I'm not gonna lie, for you know, for a couple of weeks, and I really said to myself, I was like, wow, you know, like that really was like a shitty thing to do. That really was like a shitty piece of shit thing to do, because I led her on. I never told her how I really felt. I sleep with her, and then, you know, I run some bullshit, you know, story. Thanks.
Women do that all. Listen, dude, I'm gonna be real with you.
Yeah.
Women do that all the
Thank
time.
you for your honesty.
So what? I mean, there's no double standard. It's a double standard here. Women
Right.
do this shit all the time to men, and I feel like women are in an upper hand when it comes to that shit.
You know, like I 100% agree with you, Sheldon, because, you know, I had this conversation. I think I've even had this conversation with you. I've had it with a few other coworkers and whatnot, where I'll say this, and this is 100% correct. Women are no different than men are. Okay, we get into our groups and we talk about the chick or chicks we're banging and this and that. We'll show pictures, this and that. You think that women don't get with their little girlfriends and talk about the dude they just slept with the night before? Oh my God, girl, he's so good in bed. Da 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 da. Whether you're married, single, with a dude, women are just like men in every sense, except women are better at keeping secrets
Correct.
than we are.
Yeah.
Men, we are, we're alpha males. We're hunters. We jump at the first, we jump at the first thing that we can catch. You know what I mean? Where females, okay, who are as close to males as possible, they're hunters as well, but they stalk, and they'll sit back for a time being and plan and gather up details and this and that on how can I get away with this? How can I do this? How can I do that?
They're more manipulative.
Yes, women.
They're better in manipulation than us men. I'll tell you that.
Absolutely,
for
because
sure.
listen, women have the power of the pussy. You know what I mean? Because they know that men are going to jump at the first opportunity to fuck them.
You know what's crazy? I just thought about this is the fact that we have dicks, so why don't we have dick power? Some men possess dick power, right? But I would say what changes the dynamic in terms of men and women is the fact that they fucking make dildos, fake dicks that feel real, right?
Yeah.
For women. So, in terms of men, we don't get a pussy that feels like the real thing. You get what I'm saying?
True,
so
yes,
that's where the dynamic changes. And I just thought about that. It's like, okay, that's why women are more content about who they sleep with when men can sleep with any woman they try to get. You know what I'm saying? Because we're in a dry spell. Women like, oh, I haven't had real dick in 6 months, but I don't give a fuck. I got this dildo here. Yeah. So they're content. For us, it's like, damn, man, I want the real fucking thing. I'm tired of beating my meat. I'm tired of looking at porn. I want some action, even though you might not be attracted to that shit.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
It's like afterwards, you're like, damn, dude. And it's almost like it almost becomes like a pride thing. You're like, fuck, man. Afterwards, after you finish, you're like, bro, I'm really not into that. But you're like, you end up leaving. You end up leaving less fulfilled than fulfilled.
You leave a piece of you in that situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, a part of you is gone, and you're like, damn, man, I can't even. Bro, I got a segue.
I'm on a whole different retrospect, and I'm not going to agree with neither of you. But go ahead. I have a whole nother.
Go ahead. Say what you got to say.
No,
bro.
you got to segue. Go ahead.
No, say what you got to say. I mean, the segue was that
I think
important.
dick power is better than pussy power. And my own thing is what the main thing is what constitution. Constituting to what? Livelihood. Constitution to being able to support. Constitution to being able to fulfill.
I think you're speaking the obvious. Obviously, as men, I can't disagree with you on that. 100. I can't listen. I'm gonna be real.
No, I want to hear.
No. I can't
continue.
I can't disagree with Ronnie with that because we're men. We know what we provide. But it's the thing is weak men are giving the women the OnlyFans. Weak men are giving the women money and provide. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes us in a lower grade. Ronnie, 100% agree with you with that.
Absolutely.
It's like if us men got all together on the same fucking page
and did better,
bro, it'd be over. It'd be over.
Let me tell you something.
We would be raining high.
That's
what I'm saying.
We as men, we cave too quickly. We cave too easily. We cave to something that is so easy versus something that, you know what? Hey, man, if I just try a little bit harder, if I work a little bit harder, I'll be able to have that. Instead, we go, fuck that. I want.
They give up. Yeah. We go to Pornhub, X videos,
exactly.
Bro.
Let me tell you something. What is it with women, okay, that have a successful man, okay, that a hard worker, a good husband, a good father, okay, that's still not good enough for them.
Because the Constitution doesn't stand. At the end of the day, the Constitution doesn't stand.
Right. They want to run off to the guy that has not a fucking pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. Correct. Or 2 fucking dimes to rub together.
Correct.
But they'll worship his cock like he's the fucking golden statue. You know what I mean? Like he's the
only
epitome.
Fucking man. He's the only man in the world that got something to prove.
Great segue to the Coldplay.
women go
Coldplay
after
person.
guys that are fucking.
You want to segue to the Coldplay?
I was gonna say something about that, guys. Listen, I apologize because like
We'll
when
take
I
our
get with
conversation here
when I
and
get with this
translate it
dude, when I get with this nigga here, bro, we gonna talk and talk and talk like there's no tomorrow,
Absolutely,
right?
man.
And I wanted,
Absolutely.
and I'm sorry that we haven't been able to go ahead and talk about the world news and shit.
Sorry,
but I
I'm
think
sorry.
that's a crazy segue about the whole. Hey, why can't we tell the truth to our spouses, our girlfriends, our boyfriends, right? You've seen the shit with the whole Coldplay thing. This meme has been blowing up all week. The CEO for the company and the HR lady, they're at a Coldplay concert.
Oh,
Dude, and the fucking kiss cam goes on them.
Oh, my.
And you seen it, right, Ronnie?
I love that shit,
Dude,
yes.
dude, there's been hundreds of memes, and I've been laughing my ass off all week. It's like, dude, they're fucking ducking. It's also other like baseball games and shit.
yeah.
Like people have been reenacting that
it's
shit.
A new
It's so
kissing
fucking
cam
funny.
for the last 2 weeks.
bro, that shit
It was
is
a
great.
ducking out there
Just a
shit.
week, yeah, a week,
Bro, that
yeah.
shit is great. Like, listen, if you're gonna be if you have an inclination that you're gonna cheat on your spouse or your significant other, why be with that person?
But that goes back to what I was just saying. We don't tell the truth because what? We don't want to hurt that person's feelings.
That's right.
We've been married for such a long time. We've been in a relationship.
It's
like,
almost a
damn,
comfort
like
thing, you know,
I'm trying.
da, da,
Yeah,
da, da.
exactly. Like you feel uncomfortable, like telling that person, hey, you don't want to let somebody down. You know what I'm saying?
I think it comes into certain people's that care sympathy wise. I think it comes down to you don't want them to feel like it was their fault. You're down to take the fault. You know what I mean? Like so, you like it's not you, it's a me thing. If you can convince them enough with enough aptitude of like a certain level of acting, a certain level of participation, and a certain level of leaving those strings there, and then you end up saying that to end it. You cement that to say, "Hey, man, I'm so sorry. Like I fucked you over. It's not you, it's me."
Much with what you just said.
You told me? You feel me? You feel me?
On my end.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm in the situation that I'm in with, you know, my kid's mother.
Yeah.
It's just a lot to unpack on
And the word of the main topic is accountability.
accountability.
Lead into it.
Go ahead.
You know,
How do you feel about that?
Well, I just feel like for many years there was never any accountability on her end for the act. And listen, for many years, I mean, we got married shortly after, our oldest was born, and he's 11 years old now. And, things were going good. And, shortly after that, I had found out that, there was some infidelity going on her end. And what do you do as a father to now, when I found out, now a second child? So 2 little boys. This was before my third.
Oh my God.
So what do you do as a hardworking father, as a provider, as somebody who marries? Because, I mean, based upon the pod, I mean, a lot of the listeners wouldn't believe that I actually grew up in church, but
I would never. I'm a listener.
I grew up going to church, and when you marry somebody for life. You marry somebody, to grow old with that person and spend the rest of your life, every waking moment with that person.
A soulful bond.
Right. And, divorce, marriage is a covenant, through God. You know what I mean? And, you don't want to break that covenant through divorce or anything like that. It's frowned upon.
It's never the intention, but it ends up happening
Right.
for other
And
ways.
it happens. Now, for many years, I would forgive and forget, and I would forgive and I would forget. And how many times are you going to continue to do the same thing and take someone's kindness for weakness, okay? And then never once in any of those years of this happening was there ever a, I'm sorry. It was, this happened because you did this, or this happened because, all the times that you would say, after the first time that I was doing this, I just decided to do it again. Listen, my grandmother, she passed away, God rest her soul. She would always say, her saying was, a leopard never changes its spots. Okay. Once a cheater, always a cheater. Okay. And there was never any accountability on her end. You know, listen, for everything she lacked as a wife, she made up for as a mom. Incredible mom. And I will never take that away from her. Okay. But for everything that she wasn't to me, she made up for being a mom. And at this point, that's all I can ask for. Okay. You know, I don't know who she's involved with. I know she's involved with someone or someone's, plural. But I have an inclination on who she's involved with. And I
don't
know,
cement nothing now, but I believe you.
you know, the dude's a, deadbeat piece of shit. But you know what? Hey, listen, if that's who you decided to,
downgrade
and this for that.
Downgrade.
And this
she's
for
downgraded,
that,
bro.
And
no disrespect against the woman that you've been married to for the last 15, but
exactly.
like, come on, bro.
She's an
like,
incredible person. She has so much potential to do better. And she's an absolutely incredible person. I will never take that away from her. When she's good, she's good. And when she's bad, she's bad. It's like for years, she battled in her own mind who she is as a person and who she wants to be. It was like this struggle between good and evil. You know what I mean? And, listen, I just recently started going back to church. And I pray for her every single day. I pray for her. I pray for her salvation. I pray that she surrounds herself with people that are going to,
I salute you. That's Jesus
brother.
like.
Yeah,
That's Jesus like.
And
I didn't mean to cut you off. I was going to say
no,
about
absolutely,
myself.
absolutely, brother. That's fine. But I pray for her financial well-being. I pray for her happiness. I pray for her soul. Okay, and most of all, I pray for our kids that they are happy and they are fruitful at the end of the day. And I pray for their safety. I pray for her safety. And I'm not a perfect person. I've had plenty of my own,
imperfections
in our marriage, mostly stemming from, the infidelity that took place, a lot of insecurities, maybe the times that she wasn't actually doing something and I was saying that she was doing something. Maybe at that moment she wasn't. But
you think that started like a root, like it started to grow something? When people aren't necessarily doing something and you accuse them of doing something, it's like that might start, Here's
the thing. I've known my kid's mother before we were even intimate with each other, before we even became, parents. She's my little sister's best friend. I've known her for 20 years, since the early 2000s. So, I was warned about her before even getting into a relationship with her through, people. And I chose it. They say that saying, love is blind. When you love somebody and you tend to put up blinders and not,
overlooked a lot of things.
It's very easy to overlook things because you're such in the feeling, and the such in the feeling doesn't let reason be a constant.
Right. And you think to yourself, oh man, what this person's saying about this person, it's like, I'm just not getting that vibe right now. So you end up getting caught up in having good times with that person and living for the moment that you're like, eventually you're like, there's no way what anybody's telling me about this person could possibly be true. And over time, let me tell you something. The people that have told me things about
that person,
my kid's mother, proved to be without a shadow of a doubt 100% correct about everything. Didn't even skip a beat. Now, whoever she is involved with now, okay, I wish them luck. I hope they get treated a hell of a lot better than I did. And you know what? I truly and genuinely, deep down inside, at the end of the day, really pray and hope for her happiness, and that she finds,
that peace that she wants.
That peace, that thing that she's been searching for. Because obviously it came to a point after years and years of being married that I checked and rechecked all the boxes as a husband, and would lay my head down at night beating myself up mentally. And then one day it just clicked. Hey, you know what? I've checked and rechecked these boxes thousands of times. The problem is not me. The problem is her. And the catalyst to all this was shortly after last Thanksgiving. She came to me, or we had went up to go see family in Georgia, and she was kind of acting standoffish. But for months prior to that, everything was going great. And it's like Thanksgiving time. We're up visiting my parents up in Georgia, and I noticed she's interacting with every other person in my family, but she's really standoffish from me. And I'm like, that's weird. So I'm thinking, you know how women get the time of the month. They get fucking weird. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking, oh, maybe it's the time of the month for her. Let me just not say anything to her, and let me just kind of give her a space and let her enjoy her Thanksgiving. So, very few words. So we're driving back down here to Florida from Georgia. Hardly anything. I let another week go by, and I'm laying in bed, and I look at her. She's on the computer, laying in bed, and I'm watching TV, and she's on the other side, and I'm on the other side, and I just pause what I'm watching. I look at her and I go, listen, is everything okay? Like, what's going on? Why are you being so standoffish from me? Have I done something? Did I say something? La da 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 da. And now mind you, this is years, 8 years of 13 years being together.
Yeah.
That I've had to deal with this. So now I'm almost like a pro, like an OG to this shit. You know what I mean? So now I'm like, okay, well, I've been down this road before. This is familiar behavior. Okay, what's going on? So she just closes the computer. She looks at me and she goes, have you ever begun to think that I'm not in love with you anymore? And, she had thrown the signs out there to me in the past, almost the same verbiage that she told me right then and there, but I didn't want to believe it. You know what I mean? I didn't want to think that was possible, because how could somebody not be in love with me when I've been such a good person to you? This time around, my skin was thicker. It's like when you cut yourself and you keep recutting the same spot. Eventually it goes from being a minor scar to like a keloid scar, a big thick scar. So I had built up scar tissue to this. So when she pretty much told me what she told me, she went in this whole big spiel and la da 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 da. I ended up telling her, okay, well, that was the Band-Aid that needed to be ripped off. And you know what? I love you enough to let you go out into this world and figure it out and see and experience whatever it is that you think that you need to make you happy. Because I know I've done everything humanly and physically possible as a husband, as a provider, as a father, I don't know what to do anymore. And I've realized that the problem is not me, the problem is you. And that's it. That's it. And, I don't know, 3-4 months went by and she's gone, So, being a newly single parent is, it's been a little different, especially, since she went into, she decided to move in with her brother or her sister and her sister's husband down in South Florida. So, I mean, it's, that's fine. Being a newly single parent, it's had its challenges, where she has a support system. All her family lives down here. All her family lives in South Florida. I don't have anybody. All my family moved out of state. The closest relative I have is my brother, Samuel, who lives in Orlando, and he's got his own family to worry about. So it's easier for her to be able to go out and party and hang out and do this and do that, whereas I don't really have that option. You know what I mean? It's very easy for her to be able to have all these freedoms. And I mean, she's splitting the rent 3 ways with her sister, and her sister's husband, whereas I have the brunt of all the bills of a two-person house income now on one person. So it's been tough. Tough financially. It's getting better, much better now. In the beginning, it was tough.
Before the cutbacks.
Yeah, in the beginning, it was tough emotionally, but now, like, it's like, since I started going back to church, like, I really, like, I'm really, emotionally, it's not hard anymore. Like, it was just a month of just her not being there that was emotionally hard for me. Now it's like, okay, she's not here. My life goes on. And I'm starting to get into my own groove of things and how I do things. And, occasionally from time to time, I'll have, a thought, because mind you, this is the house that we've lived in for the last 6 years, since 2019. There's memories everywhere in that house. And it kind of sucks when you come home from work on the days that she has the kids, and, you come home to an empty house. You come home to a house full of, every square inch of that house you look at, there's a memory. Oh, I remember when Mason fell over there. Oh, I remember when Bryson kicked Mason to the wall over there. Oh, I remember making dinner in the kitchen at this time. And, as time goes on, it's becoming a lot easier. And in this, it was...
Are you forgetting?
Am I as far as what?
Like remembrance of a vibe, or remembrance of those hesitation moments? You're letting go.
Yeah.
So you're forgetting to let go.
Yeah.
You're forgetting in order to let go, and you're not letting that impedance of having it on you. You release it by letting go. Right,
exactly. Okay. And now, like, I'm like, I was going to talk to you because I know, like, you're into boxing and everything. Yeah. I was actually thinking about 4 days ago when I was at work because I love boxing. I love watching boxing. And I'm left-handed, so I'm a southpaw.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know technically if I got into boxing, I would have an advantage. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and an advantage of spacing.
So, like, now I'm looking, because I've never been big into, like, going to the gym and pumping iron and stuff like that. Like, I am naturally like a broad dude. And I know, like, if I just go into boxing and get into fitness that way, like, I'll slim down and I'll be good. And so I was actually going to talk to you about that, like, starting a hobby, because, like, I have guns. I have 2 dirt bikes on my back patio, my kids, and I like outdoorsy stuff. But like now, like, I want to start getting into boxing. Like, I want to find my niche outside of work and outside of my home life. Something that becomes a hobby, something that I can go to.
All right,
it makes you feel better.
I'll stand you real quick. Shout out to Coach Lou. He's actually doing a promotion for boxing. Mm-hmm. It's very cheaper than ever. The only reason why I don't do it is because I don't have enough conditioning or discipline to try it. But if you are down for boxing, if you're down for that discipline, I would recommend Coach Lou. His boxing club is right across the street of Kaiser University.
Oh, I pass it all the time. That's his boxing place.
Our favorite alcohol space, warehouse, liquor store.
Well, I don't go there. That might be your spot. I thought about going there one time, but yeah, I pass it all the time on
it's a
Military.
Lovely fucking avenue. And honestly, it's a hard turn to turn into from Military, but it's right in between Community, way before Okeechobee Boulevard.
I'm completely down, dude.
And you can get a good deal right now. You don't have to hassle. Like, you haggle it. After August, it'll be hard for you to get that deal. But if you lock it in this month,
absolutely, man.
Coach
And
Lou's the shit.
Friday's payday, baby.
I'm telling you, man.
You
Like
know?
I've only won fights because I learned about his counters. You go backwards to go forward. You go forward to go backwards, and you're not a forward about going to the place they're uncomfortable because you make yourself more comfortable in their uncomfortableness. And that forethought of like the passion of boxing, it didn't resonate with me until like he showed me his grades and told me to watch him and told me the kind of man I want to be. And earnestly, he said, you can't be the guy you always want to be, but at the same time, you can take inspiration and the aptitude to grow from those things, just from the greatness of people building themselves to be better. And that's the best thing you can do for yourself. And I'm like, man, what a glory fucking thing to say. Because you can say that about the Bible. You can say that about people going to school. You can say that about people in the discipline of their own like livelihood and grow in aspiration and how they define themselves in their work or their job or how I'll be a better lawyer in litigation. Anything. But the way he said it resonated with everything. And I'm like, damn, I never even thought about that. I always thought about being like a little speck, but I never thought about being any growing of ambition of any sort. But yeah, man, he made me a better boxer, a better person, and reactive, and not just reactive to bad, but reactive to good. And if you get away with something, don't just abuse that good thing. Use that as you could use all your fundamental boxing, and then once you know that good thing's working, don't just go back to it. Just kind of like work around where they don't even know why it's working so good.
Yeah.
And the expanding of mentality of it all. So, absolute GOAT. Shout out to Coach Lou. Military.
Coach Lou, I'm going to come see you, buddy.
You should go. My dad told me he's hiring, he's giving great boxing plans. It would be a good family thing for you to be doing too.
The boys, they love football. You know, but here's the thing. I have them certain times throughout the week. And when school starts, I don't know how I'm going to work that out. They're going to be with their mom through the week. So cross that bridge when we get there. I want to get as far as me squared away.
You get included to that gymnast, and I'm guaranteeing you, like, there's no fake. There's like, you're talking about real. He's realer than me. Yeah, like, as an honest, down to earth person.
And that's what
I'm telling
like.
you. He's
I like somebody that says, "Hey, listen, you know, you're fucking up in this area. You need to tighten up. Hey, listen, you know, somebody that's gonna be an inspiration to you. Like, that's this point in my life. Like, that's what I need. People that are going to push you to do better and inspire you and drive you and you know, that's what I'm looking for.
The thing I can't say is I don't know. I can't speak to his faithfulness or his religion. I really can't recall that so well because I was very young. But I'm talking about like being the most fattest kid you had in your 7th grade to being one of the absolute athlete in 8th grade because I just listened to his ad hearings. And then by the time I got to high school, I wasn't fearless. I went in there with fear, but
you were humble.
I was more humbled because I boxed with this guy. His name was Danny Alvarez, and he was a fantastic boxer. He was 30 pounds lighter than me, and yet he just kept beating my ass down. and he went to my middle school, and he made me run with him when he saw me. Like, hey, coach told me to tell you run with me since I got this period and I made it happen. Now you got to. I'm like, all right. And then like we were disciplined enough. Well, he was always disciplined, but. Yeah, long story short, Golden Glove kid, came in 4th place or 6th place, I can't remember now. We boxed him. I was just one of his sparring dummies. But the discipline of his teaching and what his coach was telling him and me just overhearing them, I didn't even need a trainer. I just listened to everybody. I don't talk shit. I was always humble. It was more about okay with getting my ass kicked.
Yeah, there's
and then when
saying.
I went to high school, I was okay with like people being different. I'm like, are you gonna talk about it or be about it? And like they thought that was so standoffish. I'm like, I'm not afraid anymore. Like I've been bruised. I got beat up in Nicaragua. I got beat up here. I've been bullied before, and I allowed people to beat me up. But now I'm like, I can actually throw hands. So if you want to talk about it, we can be about it.
Yeah.
And that's the teaching of Coach Lou was like, you always defend yourself. Let them make the first hit. Listen to your parents first, and then like adhere to like what your religion and stuff believes. But like he was never really overly religious. It's more about practicality of like what you can live with and what discipline you're being taught here and what you can defend yourself with. And it's always been about like never be a victim in that standpoint. And this is just to make sure you carry yourself like an honorable person. And I carried that from the sword, like a sword. And from there I was never like trying to intently fight somebody, but I always went by my parents' teaching, which was like, hey, defend yourself. If they hit you, then you can hit them. And
if you don't do anything when you get home, you're getting your ass whooped.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So, yeah, just to tap on that, I think that's the best teaching you can go for, Coach Lou.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, there's a saying that I've been hearing a lot lately, and I think I've been hearing it for a reason. It's God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Talk less and listen more. You know what I mean? So, and in doing that, you know, you can become humble. You know what I mean? So I definitely focusing on being more humble lately and stuff, and kind of taking advice from peers and making a lot of financial changes in my life, and you know, a lot of physical changes, and trying to just do things that are going to benefit my greater good. Like, I mean, I'm down like 21 pounds since, you know, we all hung out that one night.
Yeah, I do see it, dude.
Like,
I do see it.
Eating better, you know, just life choices, stop drinking so much beer, you know what I mean, on my days off, you know, interacting with the kids more. It's just, you know, I'm finding my niche little by little. You know, I'm finding my niche as you know, as a newly single parent, stuff like that. And honestly, like, I'm really liking this whole single parent thing. Like, this is like really awesome. You know what I mean? You come home.
That's how we take accountability, man.
Yeah, man. You come home, you go to sleep, you get to wake up when you want to, when you don't have the kids and this and that. And like, you're your own boss at the end of the day. Like, you don't have anybody else to really have to answer to.
Nobody's telling you how to do it.
Yeah.
You can just do how you want it.
It's awesome. So, I mean, you know, I'm taking the bad and turning it into good. You know, and, you know, as long as I continue to let my kids know that dad loves them and I'm a positive role model for them, you know, at the end of the day, and I go to work, put my best foot forward and come home and, you know, do what I got to do to handle my house and my, you know, then I know that I'm doing all right, because, you know, work, home, kids, that's it. You know, I know I'm doing all right.
And I think a lot of men that are in your position will but they would agree with you 100%, bro. And that's accountability as men. And that kind of segues from the point of, like, us as men, we're kind of isolated just to being by ourselves. And it's just like a one-way street. You feel me? Women, we got to break our backs to please women and our children, and it's a safe space for us to talk about our fucking what's the word I want to use, man? Like,
personal experiences,
or like our insecurities, our vulnerabilities. That's what I want. Yeah, that's what a word I want to use.
It's not really a weakness.
It's not weaknesses.
Vulnerabilities.
It's vulnerabilities.
The other way around. It's you. Okay, distinguishment for me is, what can you elaborate on? And if it's you voicing a certain weakness, it's not very weakness. It's more like you have the confidence to be truthful to your own admissions of what's faulting you.
That's right.
That's not a true weakness. For you to find it, pick it, point out the question, that's already half the solution.
That's right.
So we're going to here to just talk about it.
Half the freaking battle's beat at that point.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
You have to deliver a question before you get the answer, dog.
You know, next
that's
week,
a
bro,
huge fucking thing.
Dude, next week we're going to have your pops.
What?
You said.
Oh, yeah. I hope you listen next week, because I'll give you all the sound bites you need as a real a single parent, and you'll learn a lot of things my dad had to go through.
Absolutely, man. I'm willing to take any bit of advice from any way that I can get it.
I got so much wisdom coming. If you have the time, I'm not going to tell you to, but if you have the time, sit in and you'll link up and you'll listen, bro. You'll get so much from it. But at the same time, you can all, like, everybody, listeners, thank you for listening. And Polo, if you take the time to listen to the following one, you're going to get a lot out of it.
Absolutely,
I guarantee it.
And you know, with school starting, and the boys being with, you know, their mom for the school portion, I'll have more time to be able to come on to these podcasts.
Yeah, we hope to have you again, man.
Absolutely,
bro.
man.
Unfortunately, we got to wrap up, bro, because like, you know, time eludes us. But hey, I hope everyone enjoyed this episode. Ronnie, thank you for sharing your wisdom.
Absolutely.
You know, you being open. We all share the same vulnerabilities. I'm looking forward to having your pops here next week and his friend. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, guys, see you next week. Thank you so much.
Salud.
Thanks for listening. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Join us again next week for new episodes every Friday, exclusively on Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube.
We strive for the best possible content. We do so by engaging with our fans and listeners to discuss topics you want to hear.
As we continue to grow, please don't forget to like, rate, comment, follow, subscribe to our social media and podcast platforms. In addition, don't forget to share with your friends, family, and loved ones.
We look forward to hearing your feedback, and we appreciate your support. And thanks again for listening to Differential Points Podcast.